New scores next May with the release of Disney's Alice Through the Looking Glass.
I hate that guy, man. He's so much better than I am.
George catapulted science fiction into an A-list genre.
Few filmmakers can claim to have created entire universes of storytelling that have inspired a generation of filmgoers. Obsessed with the art of the moving image, George joined a generation of filmmakers who were radically changing the world of cinema in the 1970s. His entire career would become distinguished by his relentless determination, imagination, and stories that have captivated audiences for generations. George Lucas grew up in Modesto, California, and graduated from the University of Southern California's School of Cinematic Arts. Adapting one of his student films, George made his debut as a feature director in 1971's THX 1138. Drawing inspiration from his upbringing in California and his love for cars, he went on to write and direct the classic American Graffiti. However, it was 1977's Star Wars that would cement George's name in the pantheon of cinema forever.
I wanted to stimulate the imagination of the audience to think about different worlds and different ideas and dream of things that they might not have dreamed about before.
George made it his career to anticipate what the next wave of cinematic technology was going to be. Following the success of Star Wars, he went on to produce the hits two sequels, The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and returned in 1999 to write and direct 3 prequel films. Unafraid of using cutting-edge technology in Star Wars, George helped to launch cinema into a new era of filmmaking. Combining his gift for popular entertainment with his mastery in cinematic techniques, George brought another legendary hero to life. Indiana Jones debuted in the 1981 hit Raiders of the Lost Ark, which he produced beside his longtime friend, Steven Spielberg.
He is a kind of dweeby Indiana Jones, and that's what we all love about him.
Guests can enjoy the Indiana Jones adventure at Disneyland and the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular at Disney's Hollywood Studios, along with other attractions and parks around the globe. A longtime Disney fan, George worked with the companies in the 1980s to bring his characters into the Disney parks for the first time. His first project was Captain Iger, and directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Star Tours followed the next year, allowing fans to step into the world of George's saga for the first time. Over the years, the ride has been updated with new experiences to keep guests captivated over and over again by the world of Star Wars.
It has been a real honor to collaborate with you and your team as you bring this amazing new incarnation of a classic attraction to life.
And action!
George's achievements helped free the imagination of filmmakers and fans worldwide. He remains a devout philanthropist in the field of education, having founded the George Lucas Educational Foundation in 1991. He is the recipient of the American Film Institute's Lifetime Achievement Award and was awarded the National Medal of Arts by President Barack Obama.
Friendship, loyalty, good and bad, what we believe in, that is the core of the accumulated knowledge of the human race.
The obvious when I say that George is one of the great storytellers we've ever seen. And I just think of all the incredible mythology that he created for human history. When I think of all the mythology that's been created in human history, Star Wars stands out. George dreamed up the quintessential saga of friends and enemies, love and war, the light side and the dark. And the stories he created are beloved the world over, so much so that "May the Force be with you" is one of the most quoted lines ever in dozens and dozens of languages. His gifts for storytelling are matched by his incredible ability to innovate, and when he was making Star Wars in the 1970s, the technology that he needed to bring lifelike space battles to the screen just didn't exist. So what did George do? He invented it, weaving technology into his filmmaking to tell stories in an even more profound and more dramatic way. He married story and technology with his own imagination, and just like that, he transported us to galaxy far, far away, and there was no looking back. He kept on innovating. A few years later, he hired a couple of young guys, Ed Catmull and John Lasseter, charging them with developing state-of-the-art computer technology for the film industry. That was the founding team that was, for what we all know today, Pixar. So to say George's contributions to storytelling are immeasurable, well, consider making Disney the new home for Star Wars. I pitched that concept to George a few years ago, the idea of buying Lucasfilm, and I promised him that we'd respect the legacy and bring the amazing storytelling of Star Wars to a new generation. And I stand here today feeling extremely grateful to George. So it is an incredible privilege to be associated with the universe George created, both for me personally and for the Walt Disney Company. And today we present him with our highest honor. Please join me in welcoming George Lucas.
Thank you, Bob. He's constantly trying to brush my shave this morning. And I got pixie dust all over me. I'm very, very honored to get this award. I've been really associated with Disney for 60 years now. I started the second day the parks opened. I was here, and I've been here every year since. And then in Florida, and then in Paris, and then in Tokyo, and look forward. And that really scares you when I say things like that. Not very many people realize that Goofy was the inspiration for Jar Jar Binks. I know you'll look at him differently now, because it's pretty obvious actually, but I got from Disney. I'm very happy to be here. I'm with two of my daughters. One of them's older and is sitting here trying to get into the movie business, just like me. The other one is 2 years old, and we're re-going through the park, realizing to watch it through her eyes is an amazing experience. And my oldest daughter still is completely obsessed with the parks and gets frightened at all of the, it's a small world and all that kind of stuff. Not a little like my old. I worked for years and years and years. We were together and apart and together and doing things all over the place. So it's a funny relationship, a friendship. We've been friends for a long time. I've never actually worked for Disney. I think Strange Magic's the only movie I ever made for them. I'm very happy that after all these years of pushing to get more and more Star Wars and Indiana Jones into the parks, the only way I could think of to do it was to get Bob to buy the company. So it's a great honor, and thank you very much.